Hi guys, we're going to look at another question that some of you found challenging. That's exercise 3.5, question 6. So let's have a look at that. We have a cuboid with a square base of length 2 plus root 5 centimeters. And the volume of this cuboid is 16 plus 7 root 5 centimeters cubed. Find the height of the cuboid. Now, with all questions like this, the best thing to do is to draw out your question, to visualize it, because if you visualize it, I think you'll get a better handle on what to do. So let's draw out our shape, right? This is a cuboid, and the cuboid we learn has got a square base, right? So it's got a square there. So the square base has got length 2 plus root 5. So we can indicate that on here. So this length here is going to be 2 plus root 5. And the other side here is also going to be 2 plus root 5 as well. Okay. Now, we know that the volume of this cuboid is going to be equal to 16 plus 7 root 5. We want to find the height. Well, the height, therefore, is the unknown thing. So we'll label that as h. And that's what we want to find. Well, how can we find that h? We know that the volume of a cuboid must be equal to its base times by its width times by its height, right? So we're going to have these three dimensions, 2 plus root 5 times by 2 plus root 5 will equal, times by h will equal the volume. Okay, so let's multiply this out. 2 plus root 5 times 2 plus root 5, well, we're going to get 4 plus 2 root 5 plus another 2 root 5, so it's going to be 4 root 5. And then root 5 times root 5 is 5. So here we've got 4 plus 4 root 5 plus 5 times by h must equal the volume, which is 16 plus 7 root 5. Okay. Well, we can combine the 4 and the 5 on this side to give us 9 plus 4 root 5 times by h is equal to 16 plus 7 root 5. And so therefore, just rearranging, dividing both sides by 9 plus 4 root 5, we know that the height must equal 16 plus 7 root 5 divided by 9 plus 4 root 5. Okay, and once we've got to that point, actually, most of the question is really done. All we've got to do is to rationalize that denominator. Okay, so let's try to do that. Let's try to rationalize. So we go over to the next page. All right. How are we going to rationalize this denominator? Well, you should remember that we are going to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate. Right? So I'm going to multiply the top and bottom by 9 minus 4 root 5. Right? And 9 minus 4 root 5 the top as well. Okay, so I've done that. Now then, if I multiply out the top, what should I get? I'm going to get 16 times by 9 is 144. 16 times by minus 4 root 5, that's going to be minus 64 root 5. 7 root 5 times by 9, that's going to be plus 63 root 5. And 7 root 5 times by minus 4 root 5, well, 7 times by 4 is 28. And root 5 times by root 5 is 5. So we've got 28 times by 5, which is 140. And of course, the positive times the negative, so we get a negative sign there. On the denominator, we're going to have 9 times by 9, which is 81. 9 times by minus 4 root 5 and plus 9 times by 4 root 5, those are going to cancel off. And so we're going to be left with 4 times by 4 root 5 times by minus 4 root 5. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. Root 5 times root 5 is 5. So 16 times by 5 is 80. So we've got minus 80. So all we've got to do is just got to tidy this up a little bit. 144 minus 140 is 4. And minus 64 root 5 plus 63 root 5 is minus root 5. Of course, on the denominator, 81 minus 80 is just 1. In the end, we're left with the answer that the height is equal to 4 minus root 5. Okay, so a slightly challenging question, but I think that the key to doing this really is getting you to think visually. Draw out something that you don't know. Once you've drawn it out, I think that will help you to get an understanding of where to start. And once you've started, you can see that the question should boil down into basic operations involving surds, which you already know how to do. So I hope that that will at least encourage you next time when you encounter a hard question to think and ask yourself, how can I represent this in a visual way that will help me out? Okay, I hope that was helpful, guys. I will see you again next time.